Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I'm talking to those individuals who have come to a place in their lives where they're considering on dating and eventually getting married. If you are someone who is strongly thinking about taking that route, rest assured you are going to need some money. When you enter into any type of relationship, eventually consider marrying someone and then making the serious purchases in addition to bringing children into the world, there will be problems and lots of them. Because when you don't have money, things look a lot worse. You will find yourself becoming quite angry quickly. You will find yourself miserable. You will find yourself being angry over the littlest things because money is a problem, because there's not enough of it, because you haven't saved, because you haven't directed the money where it needs to go. Some individuals complain about their current relationships because they didn't make wise decisions early on. They complain because they know that they have gone out and they spent money that they know they couldn't afford to spend, so they basically borrowed money. They know that they have interest that they have to pay on that money. They also know that dating anyone is going to cost some degree of money. You're going to want to go places, do things, travel, and so your money is going to constantly be tapped into. Unless, of course, you're one of those individuals who you're hoping that somebody else will foot the bill. Okay. Now, one of the things that I find very disheartening when people enter into relationships is they're so caught up in their fantasy, that they are very dismissive toward the person who they're with and their concerns. They know that the individual is coming into the relationship with their share of baggage. But, oh, well, we're just going to forget everything. I know she has a daughter, but, she has a job, so she'll take care of the baby. Yeah, but sometimes jobs don't last. And if she gets pregnant, guess what? She might not want to go back to work. So that child ends up being that man's responsibility. And some individuals, they don't like that because they don't see that far down the line. All they see is that beautiful woman or that beautiful man in front of them, but they don't think about that child that is coming along with that man or woman is going to need to be cared for sooner or later. Now, everything might seem peachy in the beginning if the child is spending the majority of time with the other parent. But if that child is starting to come around a little bit more, may have a falling out with the parent, and guess who's going to have to end up taking care of that child? You see, the other issue that some people run into is they find out that marriage isn't what I thought it was going to be, or having a serious relationship isn't what I planned on. Okay. You may have been open to the possibility, but you really wasn't planning on it. So before long, I'm taking my items from my home. You're taking your items from your home. We're putting them all together. And then some of our items tend to cost a little bit more. She has a particular way of taking care of her furniture, in addition to maybe any pets that she brings into the picture. I have my way of doing some things. The man that you may get involved with, he may have, a time where he likes to do things that cost money. Okay. I'm telling you, when you start thinking deeply, you come up with a quick decision as to how you're going to deal with some things. You might change your mind. You might even go ahead, but you are now aware of some things that you hadn't thought about before. And some folks don't think about the taxes that people owe, okay, and how that affects the relationship, the taxes that you might potentially owe, because some folks tend to be a little bit, shall we say, dishonest when it comes to their taxes. We don't anticipate the moves that people will make to come be with us or to go elsewhere. We don't think about the job changes. We don't think about pregnancies. We don't think about sudden illnesses. We don't think about how a partner may want to do something different, attend school. They might want to visit relatives. They might want to see their buddies. All of this stuff costs money. Okay. So the more involved you get with someone, the more their expenses end up becoming your expenses. And some folks will say, well, I don't care. I really don't. I mean, I just love this person, and we'll just take one step at a time. And that is a good attitude, just so long as you don't get blind. Because some folks do get blind through the whole process. They say, okay, yeah, I'll deal with it. But then when it shows up, you don't want to deal with it. You say you do, and it sounds good, but you really don't want to deal with it. So you walk around, you have a nasty little attitude. You're not as loving and kind and sweet to that person as you once were, because you realize that savings is going down quite quickly. Every time you look up, you're going into your pocket helping someone. Yeah, you can get turned off real quick. Suddenly, all of the blinders come off. Your eyes are wide open, and you realize that maybe it isn't love that this person is in this relationship for. Maybe it's because, well, you got a little bit more than they do. Okay, this is major. This is a major issue in a lot of relationships, especially if you've met someone through the internet. People are opportunists. They're looking for, opportunities. They're looking for benefits. They're looking for people that's going to help them. And if you know that you don't have much, maybe you need to reconsider the family. Maybe you need to reconsider the dating and all the other stuff until you get your house in order, until you have spent enough time on your job and put enough money away to be able to afford all of these things. You see, the folks that I've seen who are successful with family, with job and all of that are folks who know how to plan. And they also know how to compromise. They know that there comes a point where I can't afford a certain pair of shoes anymore because I have a family now. I know that I cannot spend a lot of money on makeup and clothes and everything else that I used to back when I was single because I have a family now. There's compromises that one must make, and some people are not willing to do that. And I will tell you that the longer you have been single and mingling and having a good old time and looking out for yourself, the harder it is to connect with someone who has a ready-made family. The harder it is to deal with the possibility that we might be expecting because, well, it used to be about me and now it's about everybody else. And folks who are selfish and self-centered and they have spent a lot of time with themselves, they don't do so well. There's a lot of attitude. There's a lot of, well, this is mine. And, I typically do this on my time. And, now what is this that you want to bring to my house? And okay, when are you going to bring back my car? And, this is my money. And, it's a lot of my involved, a lot of I. And when you hear that early on in a relationship, you definitely need to reconsider dating someone like this because it doesn't get any better. Take it from me. It does not get it any better. You think it does, but it doesn't. Because some folks, they just won't break. They won't break. They're very stiff-necked about things. So I hope that this is just another one of those messages to enlighten some and to just think about those sudden things that will happen as you become more serious dating, contemplating marriage, contemplating the future. There's a lot involved and it's going to take some money. Well, thank you so much for listening. And as always, to God be the glory.